I hope you'll join me to continue to pray for Americans in Texas, Louisiana, still reeling and recovering from Harvey, and that we pray for the folks in Florida that are now facing Irma, and also Alabama and Georgia. America is facing crises with these natural disasters that will require a lot of effort. The House of Representatives voted earlier this week to approve an aid package that also went to the Senate. And we must help all of these Americans that see their livelihoods stymied. Unfortunately, some political games have been played with regard to this aid. And now we've seen that it is hooked to a debt ceiling vote and continued resolutions. A lot of other political things that, quite frankly, we could have passed this aid by itself. We can't confuse must-pass stuff like aiding Americans and conflate that with hooking things that violate our principles and the things that we deeply believe in. And so today, when we had this combined vote that would do a continued resolution on our military, 3 more months where the military has no flexibility in its spending, cannot replace munitions, cannot deal with new contracts or anything. We've seen years of deterioration and decay of the armed services and the men and women who defend our country. And now we've hamstrung them once again with a continued resolution debt ceiling vote that unfortunately they also hooked an aid package to. For the record, I voted for the aid package that the House passed. And while I stand with those that are in need, I want to give you a stark reminder of things that happened this summer in just really recent weeks. 40 warriors have lost their lives in training this summer. 40. From Black Hawk helicopters that have crashed, killing United States Army soldiers, to Marine Corps aircraft that have gone down, killing Marines, to Navy and Air Force personnel that have lost their lives in F-16 accidents or ship collisions due to op-tempo and training. 40 warriors dead. Now, if that were a town hit by a hurricane, we would say it would be horrific. And yet, you and I sleep in peace at night because of these warriors that defend us. When I was a soldier in uniform for over 2 decades, I saw this absolute nonsense that I'm seeing now here in Congress. And I spoke very passionately about this morning in our Republican conference. I just can't do it. I cannot vote for these continued resolutions that are going to tie the hands of our warriors. America's enemies, from North Korea to operations that are ongoing in the Horn of Africa, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Philippines. They're out there doing the tough job, and we're going to play political games by packaging things together here at home, tying up how the Department of Defense can spend its money in some continued resolution that eliminates their flexibility and their ability to have what they need. While the enemies are out there not idle, we have forced our military to be idle over the next 3 months by this debt ceiling tied vote. Now, people can push back and they can say you should stand with the president, or you should stand with the party, or you should stand with this other party, or you should stand with leadership, or you should stand with that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm standing on my conscience as a former warrior of the United States and as your duly elected representative, which I am honored to hold this important office. And I will stand with warriors today who are defending our freedom. And that is why I cast a no vote. We have to stop this nonsense of tying up Department of Defense dollars with this Budget Control Act sequester continued resolution that we forced our military in year after year after year. And I thought when we had a new president that we would see some relief on that this year. But the deal that was cast and the votes, the way they formulated, have forced me into that vote. And I wanted you to see firsthand from me with this video, if you care to watch it, of why I voted the way that I did. has nothing to do with a compassion that I feel for those victims of hurricane and hurricane relief. We'll continue to do the right things on that. But we have to do what's right by our military, and I have to stand with them. Thanks for watching the video. Continue to pray for the victims of our hurricanes and the others that are suffering from floodwaters. And say a prayer for the families who lost soldiers training here in recent weeks because we could not adequately uncouple politics from fully funding the Department of Defense, uncoupled by these gimmicks of debt ceiling and continued resolution. We could have funded them for a full year. We've passed those authorizations here in the House, but unfortunately those options were not open, and that's why I could not support it. Say a prayer for those families, and then please pray for our country. Thank you for watching.